Gentlemen, good afternoon, and thank you for joining me once again in our community. So good to have you guys here. Mark Harris, Arman Ananian, nice to meet you. Oh, well, not meet you guys. I mean, we've been working together for a little while now, but nice to have you guys here in our community. So
great
good
to be here, Steven. Appreciate you.
Awesome, man. Do you guys want to just quickly give us a little 2 minutes about who you guys are, why you help agencies, how you help agencies, and we can get into some of the content we want to share.
You want to go for Arman first, or you want me to go?
Yeah, I can go. Basically, MAGI brings the best of the best in the agency world, like Globital, in one place, and that's pretty much it. I help Mark. I'm responsible of the Dream Team, and we're partners there with MAGI, and go from there.
So MAGI stands for the Marketing Agency Growth Intensive, and what we do is we basically help agencies grow to their highest potential because we brought together really the best, not only teams that can help you as an agency, but also to help your clients. We have companies who manage $300 million in YouTube ad spend, $50 million in Facebook, spend, the latest strategies, techniques, marketing strategies, so you can literally focus on how you can grow your business. So when we talk about that today, we can kind of go in a little bit of what that looks like, but it's really, we put together the ultimate system of how a business can grow, scale, exit, anything they want.
Awesome. And obviously, guys, while we partner up with guys like this, is they take care of digital agencies and their businesses just like we do. We do it obviously from a resource space and from a helping agencies get over capacity issues and time issues. You guys are kind of taking care of a lot of that other stuff in the world. And I think that brings us onto the topic of what we want to do. Just very briefly, we don't do these for very long, like 10, 15 minutes, just little lives with really valuable people like you guys. So we can just share some great takeaway value with agencies who manage to catch it either live or later on in the community. But the topic we wanted to look at is, it's one we may all want to kind of avoid and not talk about, but we need to see the wood for the trees and recognize where we are as a population on planet Earth is recession. It could very well likely be right around the corner, and a lot of digital agencies are hopefully recognizing that and potentially doing something about it. But there might be a lot of them out there that have not recognized it and are those people who don't like to face reality, the optimists among us. So what do you guys, let me ask you if you guys have got just 3 quick tips that we can share with agencies that whether you started to think about or whether it's something that you haven't started thinking about, what are 3 things that an agency owner who's catching this in the community, or even if this is shared with someone else, what 3 things should they be thinking about to make sure that they're gearing up for what could potentially be some really rough months ahead?
Well, Steven, that is an amazing, great question, because the truth is, it probably is either here on its way. The powers that be, they can't handle it. So let's talk about what that is. Really simply, is the first most important thing, which is it's a 2-part. Number 1 is A and B. So the first part of it is, I got to tell you this. I worked for a guy named Jim Rohn back in the early '90s, and Tony Robbins also worked for him at the time. And basically what we did was we helped him. I promoted his events and things like that. But he was an amazing guy. But one of the things he said was, it's not about the winds of adversity. It's not about the winds of inflation. It's not about the winds of interest rates. It's not about the winds of economies and governments and taxation. It's about how you set your sail. You can go any direction you want, including directly into the wind, okay, if you need to, just by setting your sail different. If it may be a zigzag pattern, you may go a little slower than you want. And if the wind was against your back, you'd probably go a lot faster. But it's all about making some decisions about how you set your sail. So that's the first part, the mindset behind everything we're going to talk about here. So if you understand that, you can go in the direction you want to go, right? Part B is that the single biggest tsunami trend, pardon the pun with tsunamis and waves and and all that kind of stuff, but this biggest tsunami trend is right upon us, and that is that the every company out there, every business out there knows that they have to have a financial advisor. They got to have a CPA. They got to have a banker. They got to have a lawyer. And now they're coming to realize that the complexities of marketing, the the difficulty in implementation, the difficulty in understanding what works now, what doesn't, what used to work, what now works, and how to actually implement it successfully is impossible for them. They have to have a trusted marketing advisor that they can work with. They can actually not only help them navigate this stuff, but actually implement it for them successfully. It's one of the most biggest tsunami trends in the history of marketing agencies right now. And that is, every company needs one of those. So that's number one. Number one is set your sail the right way. And number two is take advantage of the tsunami trend. They gotta have it.
Gotcha. So just on that mindset, both of those actually are incredibly important. And this isn't just for what's ahead of us potentially, bad times, but just generally speaking, as you run a digital agency or any kind of business, really is mindset number one. And I think this goes to what we were saying in the beginning about not acknowledging what could be around the corner. That's a mindset thing. That's a fear mentality of saying, if I don't acknowledge that it's there, then it's not there. And that's what lands up in trouble down the road, where we didn't take the time to actually prepare for it. And that's what I guess we're starting to do now in this conversation, especially saying, guys, acknowledge it. It's rather be prepared than don't be prepared. So mindset is so important. And I think the other thing you've shared there as well, again, is also not just about what's around the corner, but just generally through the day-to-day, whether it's good times or bad times in your agency, is get help. Because a lot of digital agencies, our mentality is it's our business. It's it's a pretty competitive space, and it's a pretty lonely space because of that. So we tend to hold our cards close to our chest and say, I'll do it myself. I'll do the accounting. I'll do the bookkeeping. I'll download this contract, this legal contract off the net, and I'll just implement it myself. And we tend to be scared to ask for help and realize that there's people out there who should be doing this stuff for us, even if it costs us a little bit of money. We'll end up getting much better results out of it if we actually go out and ask for the help. I mean, partnerships and getting the right contractors into our business and our life has made all the difference. Knowing, for example, from an HR perspective, that we've got the right contracts and the right hiring procedures, etc., have made all the difference. So I think those are two really great shares, whether the troubles are ahead of us or just you're running a day-to-day business. Those are really good shares.
One thing that I'd like to add that is very related to what you guys are talking about is having the right network of agencies. So when you have 7-8 figure agencies around you, like thankfully I've had the privilege of, you're one phone call away from, hey, this is what's going on with me, how can you help me? Or hey, you have this amazing thing, like, so one of the people it's a 7-figure agency, MAGI, talks about this very special way he has for targeting people with they have the financial data, so they can target qualified investors, accredited investors, which is super hard for those of you running ads that know. So just having the power of that network is like, you don't know what you don't know, and once you know, how many deals do you think you're going to close if you had that information, if you had that insight on how to do that? So that's another point to that.
Huge. And if you don't mind me saying, Arman, it's not surprising to hear that kind of feedback come from you, man. You are an absolute networking powerhouse, and you really are. Like, you're one of the guys that I aspire to be from a networking perspective. And you just seem to be connected. I see your face and your name everywhere. And I think it's such a true thing, is that when you have those connections, it just makes life a lot easier to build that network out. Once you start your network, it just kind of snowballs from there, which is really important. So it's a good take as well.
Thank you. Totally.
Cool. Sorry, Mark, go on. And just before we carry on.
No, that's good. Okay, so let's go on to point number two.
Before you carry on, Mark, I just want to say, guys, if you are there, and I see a couple of viewers are tuning in or whatever, if you've got comments or you've got questions, just drop them into the comments down below. We'll get Mark and Arman to join in.
All right, that's awesome. So number two, about how to address the forthcoming recession, and I'm not going to tell you what it is for a minute. I'm going to give you a precursor to it, because the truth is, if this is a light recession, 20% of agencies will be out of business. If it's a mediocre one, 40%, and if it's a bad one, 70 to 80 are going to give it up.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, I'm out of here. I'm not joking. But the truth is, what people don't know is that, like, things during the Great Depression, hundreds of thousands of more millionaires were created, like, per ratio, okay? And during the Great Depression kind of times than in any other times. And the reason why is because most people give up. You see, number two is really doubling down. But it's not just doubling down. It's actually having a doubling down mentality. And the reason why I'm saying about this is because literally you will have the cream of the crop of clients coming out of this if you simply double down on everything you do. Okay. And not only that, you're actually teaching your clients to double down, that they will be the ones left. They'll be the ones standing. They'll be the ones when all their other competitors are actually whimpering in the corner. Okay, they're actually going down there and say, look, I'm going to conquer this marketplace. I'm going to own this marketplace. And you know what? Yes, you might have to spend a little bit more, tweak a little bit more, put a little more effort in it. But when you're done, you're going to own your marketplace, whether you're the agency yourself or helping your agencies, your clients to do the same thing. So doubling down is the time to get this done. And it's not because, just because you got to double down or because you got to work harder, but it's actually working smarter, okay, and more efficiently, okay, and more systemized and more optimized and more profitized, and helping your clients do the same thing. If you do that, okay, you'll come out the winner. And during the process, you'll be making a fortune, especially if you can help them navigate what's going on.
Yeah. Awesome message. And I think that's cool as well what you've said there, because you're also demonstrating how much of a leadership and a coaching role we as agency owners perform in our clients' lives. They come and knock on our door and say, hey, I need some help with digital marketing, or I need some help with branding, whatever it is. And what you're saying there is it's more than that. It's about leading by example and saying, guys, you don't just come to us for help with marketing, obviously that's what we do, but look at how we're dealing with this. We advise you to do the same, which is really cool. That's a cool message. Very cool.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Cool.
So, yeah. Go ahead.
No, go for it. What any other tips?
So the third one, and if I had a limit to 3, this is the third one. It's I've been blessed to be partners with a lot of amazing people.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay Abraham and I have been partners. Major marketing companies. The last protege, Napoleon Hill. Ben Gay III is my partner. He basically taught over 10 million books he sold. 1 million salespeople work for him. Some of these people are like the top of the cream of the crop, okay, when it comes to marketing and sales. And I've learned a lot. And the most important thing I could tell you in this point is the mastermind. And when I'm saying this is that you better have a team of people who could support you when you're doing 1 and 2. When you're going to go out there in that marketplace and you're actually going straight into the wind, you better have crack troops, okay, on the sales, okay, working together as a team. You better make sure that as you're doubling down, that you better have the best people on your team, whether it be internal, external, people who know what they're doing in every facet of the business, everything from your own marketing, your own selling, your own client experience, your own finances, everything. You got to tighten that belt and make sure that everything is optimized like you thought never before. You're actually going to have the best people in finance, the best people in management in your company. And if you're a small company, okay, you might have to run those different roles. But you know what? The fact is, you better not stay that way. You better get yourself to the point where things are systemized and you can hand them off. Hand them off to a company like yours in a lot of cases. In fact, every single task that it's like a $10 an hour task or a $20, they should be handing off to your team. Okay, there's no way on earth that an agency owner or top person in that agency should be doing any of that kind of work. They should be handing it off to somebody else to get that done, so they can do $100 an hour work, $500 work, or $5,000 an hour work. And so that's what it's really about. It's about having a mastermind of people, a dream team. And whatever you can't do, you're going to hand off to them. And here's the beautiful thing. The only way to be the most trusted marketing advisor to your clients, which is this big trend we've been talking about here, is to make sure that whatever they need, you can hand off that to somebody who is world class in getting it done for them. You may be lousy at SEO, may be lousy at YouTube ads, you may be lousy at whatever else, okay? But you can hand that off to world class people who can get it done for you in a way that your clients they'll be raving fans of yours, and they'll help them navigate them through this waters ahead.
Yeah. Also, such important message actually, because you're also, again, you're talking about, recession maybe around the corner, we've got tough times there, but actually, man, these are pearls of wisdom for any time in your business. This is, and I appreciate the punt there, because that's why we're here to help. But the truth is that this is what a lot of agency owners are scared to do, and often they leave it till the moments like this where we are maybe ahead of some tough times to start making decisions like that. good. It's better late than never, but you should be thinking about this all the time, which is really cool.
And one other piece about that is, I'd like to say this is another piece about the recession. It's not so much a hint as it is a mindset, again, as we kind of close out the 3 points. And that is, remember that the crisis equals opportunity. The Chinese symbol for crisis is the same symbol for opportunity. And because with every challenge, with every problem, there's a solution to that problem. And you know what that means? The person who can solve that problem has got the most huge best opportunity on the planet that nobody's actually ever had to solve before, and which means it's a new opportunity, a new open door, a new road to a place that you never thought before, which is going to really make it really great. It's fun. It's exciting. It's a neat little project to do too.
Yeah. So that's awesome. And listen, quickly before we end, I mean, we as I said, we try to keep these kind of short, 10 to 15 minutes. I know we've got a bit longer, but I think there's some really good wisdom that you guys are sharing here. If we, like, in one word or one sentence, if an agency owner is catching this and they're going, hey man, I'm one of those agencies who've kind of left at the last minute. I haven't recession-proofed my agency. I haven't thought about the tough times, and we could be, down on a downward hill here. What is the one area of their business that you would advise them to start immediately? No more messing around, get it taken care of as soon as possible. Would it be their sales? Would it be their marketing? Would it be their processes? Would it be their operate? Like what area right now? I mean, obviously every business is different and it's hard to say, but if they are scrambling and going, geez, man, this has caught me by surprise, what should I do? What would you guys advise?
Okay, well, I'm going to say one thing first, and the truth is, self-serving, they should come to our MAGI event, but only because that'll actually help them do it. But the answer to the question really is that it is different for every business. I'll say that just because it's important, but I'll tell you the answer in a second. And that is, if you have a marketing funnel and you're sending all these people to your sales team or salesperson and they're not closing them, you better be working on sales.
Gotcha.
If you've got tons of people coming in your marketing funnel and they're selling them, but you know what, every time you sell them, you lose them because you're doing a terrible job on operations, then you better be focused on operations.
Yeah.
Okay, if you got all that going on, you got these raving fans, okay, but you're working 80 hours a week, you better be working on getting a team.
Yeah.
Okay, and if your team's frustrated because everything's a mess, you better be getting systems in place so they can have a nice, beautiful life as they work through and make your clients raving fans for you.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you got all of that done, okay, you got to check yourself and ask yourself, okay, am I making any money? So you better have the financial systems in place.
Yeah.
Am I making revenue? Am I making profit? How's my cash flow? Okay, am I, what's my take home, right? You better have all of that laid out, and even that's all irrelevant unless you actually have a good management system, because otherwise you're just going to go from working in the stuff to into management. You really need to do it. So the answer is really, it's a holistic answer, and it's got to be whatever your current challenge is. And like I said, at MAGI, we'll help you walk through that. But the answer really is, in the end, systems.
Yeah.
It's that you need to have a system for everything. The reason why McDonald's can serve 69 million people a day with a 300% turnover in the hands of teenagers running these things, okay? And with the same promise, you may not like their food, it may not be good for you, but the fact is, the same fillet of fish you had 20 years ago is the same one you'll get today. Same one you get today across the street, across the country, across the world, whatever country you're in. It's the same exact thing. The promise delivered 69 million times a day. And if you want a business that can systematically deliver your promise and make your clients raving fans, you better have systems.
Gotcha. Good. Yeah.
One thing I want to add, Mark and I are a great duo, because I can talk like directly to agencies, and he talks about everything that an agency doesn't know, which is pretty much everything but marketing, so it's a great combination. If I had to add something there, is make sure that you find a way where you can get basically a limited budget for you to work with your clients. Your clients, when a crisis, they're going to drop their budgets. What is a way? I want you guys to start thinking about it. They're going to drop their budgets. Every time something happens, they drop their budgets. What is a way where you don't need to be dependent on the budget, or you control a source that can give them a limited budget or a decent set of budgets for them to work on? And we actually have a partner with that. So that's one of the things that, you guys have to see. Like, if you have a source that's going to give one of your clients $10,000 a month in free advertising or in with a one-time fee, well, they're not going to probably drop you because they have the budget taken care of. So just start thinking about those things so that you can stay and keep your clients for a long time.
Amazing. Awesome. Great messages, guys. Thank you very much for sharing. So just before we end, what's next? Where can guys get hold of you? Where can people follow you and join you? What got on the cards?
As I said before, we put on a 4-hour power workshop called MAGI. We got one coming up on the 19th. And we'd love to invite your people to attend. Now, normally, this is a $497 event. Steven, you twisted my arm, and I said, okay, let's give them a special deal. And we do have some costs because we send out a package and a bunch of things like that for our agencies. It's like a $43 cost. So basically, if you went to, in fact, I'll just share my screen so you can see it real quick. It might take a second. If you go to magiworkshop.com, you can put it in links or whatever the case may be. Magiworkshop.com, you can kind of see it right there. MAGI stands for Marketing Agency Growth Intensive. You can read a little bit about some of the dream team right here, some of the great people we're talking about that do all this stuff for our clients and our agencies and all that. A little bit about what we'll be talking about. But if you scroll to the bottom, it's really by invitation only. So if you go right here, just say, I've been invited, you click that button, and just to save time, I've kind of preloaded these. It's going to just ask you for this step 1 or 2. You put this information, who invited you, just say Mark and Steve, okay? And just click the I'm not a robot thing, right? And then you're going to get to this.
You're going to get to, if you're not a robot.
Exactly. You're going to get to this page here, which is really a form to buy the program. But what we're going to do is you're going to put in a special code, and the code is code 43. And that's going to take it down to, it's not working. So let's go, it's going to be cost 43. Okay, that should work. There you go. So cost 43 is the code, and it gets you down to $43. And in that you'll get the entire program before, during, and after. We have thousands of gifts for you, thousands of dollars in gifts for you. And that event's going to walk you through all the systemization that I've just talked to you about and show you the dream team members, showing you what you got to get done. You'll walk away from this like truly blown away and be able to make it happen for your business. So that's what I would share with everybody. Is I would absolutely make sure you attend. Do not make that. Fantastic. For sure.
Guys, listen, what can I say? Hopefully this is the first of many. This has been absolutely amazing. And, we pride ourselves in this community and in whatever we do in sharing value for our agencies. We try to give as much as we can. And I really do think we've nailed it over here. So thank you guys so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Thanks, Steven. And also, I just want to tell everybody, Steven and his company are really off the charts. They if you don't know that from me, I mean, seriously, I've seen it, a number of times now. He was helping with a couple of projects with us, and literally the project that he helped with us over-delivered, which means he went the extra mile. He got it done. He made it happen. You want people around you like him, okay, that will take action, get things done, make it happen, think of things that you're not thinking about. Okay, and get it done. And when there's challenges, not just be bitching, moaning, complaining, but actually say, hey, what about this? Can we get this done? Hey guys, what about this? And that kind of stuff, because that's the kind of people get it done for you. So if you need a company, you're going to want to use somebody like him for that purpose. So anyway, just want to plug you on that front real quick. Because
what a testimonial, man. I'm blushing. But yeah, man, same to you guys. And I'm glad that we're chatting and we're doing some stuff together. So looking forward to some more stuff, and we'll see you at the MAGI event, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time.
All right. Thank you, Steven. Take care, man.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.